The best way to describe everything that's been happening is a symphony of epiphanies. It's happened to me a few times in my life, maybe more than a few, when I get the aha moment, like something just clicks. The clicking and the synchronicities that have been occurring are at an all-time high. I would be scared, but I know what's going on, so it's more like, okay, the flow state, the vortex is vortexing. I haven't had much to say lately on this channel because I have been inundated with information that I have had to sort of download and digest and process and then emote whatever it is I'm supposed to emote. And while all that's happening, I kind of have to feel myself through the process. Excuse me. When I come here to speak, I look to provide takeaways that someone, you, can use. The only thing that I can really say is that I've been cultivating for years. At first it started with candle magic, candle prayers, candle colors, synchronizing those with the days of the week to harness the most valuable thing that I can harness from that, whether it's a red candle on a Friday or Saturday looking for power. Now, here's another thing. I have been laser focused on my I Have a Dream speech for so long, to the fact where I thought it may never come. Because it's like I've been asking for the same thing. I've been doing all of these things, all of these constant prayers for this reality. And at a certain point I was like, well, maybe it's just not for me, this thing that I want so bad. But why do I want it so bad if it's not for me, right? I sound like Smith, but then after going into the candles, I learned to touch on ancestors a little bit, and those are just conversations that I have with any of my people that may be listening. Sometimes you get a vibe of who's there, and you talk to them. When I first started getting a little heavier into praying scientifically, I'll call it, out of nowhere, a letter that my grandfather had, sent to post, but I recognized his handwriting. It's like old people had a different handwriting. They wrote in script, and when they got a little older, their script got a little more, squiggly. And I was like, what is this letter? It caught my attention. I picked it up, and it had a bullet inside. There's no note. It was just a bullet. And my grandfather was a war veteran, and he had a lot of guns and things like that. And, something about him writing his name there and with that bullet there, for me, and it appearing out of nowhere, it was like in the garage, but just like on the floor randomly, like sloppily. And those things are messages to me. My grandfather has appeared to me in a dream once before. And, these are the people that are on your team, right? The ones you can talk to. Ancestors, right? So once I started doing that and knowing that that was a possibility, a different level of synchronicities came in. I remember a long time ago, it's like you have to ask to receive, almost like inviting a vampire in, but there's a permission that has to be granted to assist, right? And it was something so silly like keys. And I was like, well, let me test this out, because I was pissed that I couldn't find my keys. And I was like, okay, spirit guides, whoever's here listening, please, because I'm losing it. That sort of thing. I asked for help. I found them maybe an hour later or something to that effect. I'd given up at that point. So I find that when I ask, properly, things get moved around. Tools. What other tools? Meditating. I know, as boring as it sounds and things like that, sitting quietly and meditating allowed me the ability to learn and see that I could manifest, like in real time, sort of manifesting, like moment to moment, day to day manifesting. Meditating with a candle was one of my big ones, where I saw some huge results. I think people get meditating mixed up. It's really quieting the mind. When I first tried to meditate a long time ago, the first type of meditation I did was to let all the thoughts just go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And then they stop. That was a good way for me to train into meditation, because they say quiet the mind and still the mind. Sometimes that shit's impossible. Sometimes you're in the middle of a meditation and it's like interruption. Sometimes you fall asleep, but a proper meditation where you sit up and just empty yourself, it allows for the clutter of all these trillions of thoughts that we pass through to slip away, so that you can sense the world around you. And when you're more connected, you're more magnetic. Another thing that has helped a lot was diet. Now, I was a veggie for the better part of 6 years. I've reintegrated fish for the protein factor, I like to tell myself. I don't have all the scientific evidence upon vegan protein versus non-vegan protein, all these other things, but I would get weak sometimes in my pure veggie space, a little lightheaded. However, when you are not consuming animal products, and you consume plants' life, the frequency of you changes, and you can sort of hear the world better. Kind of like only a dog can hear the dog whistle. It's kind of like that. You hear what most people can't. And when I say hear, it's just sensory of the divine. That has not slowed down with me since consuming fish, but there is a weight that comes with eating that can provide a lack of clarity sometimes. So that's another dial. These are all sort of like dials and tunes, like tuning into the frequency that a lot of us are kind of set aside from because of our race of the rats, I mean. Okay. Now, I think the culmination of working on all those things for many years, in addition to like trying everything, journaling. Okay, what's up? Yeah, okay. A little chirpy confirmation, sun is shining bright. It's good. In addition to like just seeking after the same thing, those things have attuned me in so many ways to, just differentiate and kind of see above what's going on in a lot of ways. Now, this recent year, I've stepped up my game. And I don't know, it's been more than that, but I've stepped up my game for a little while before that. Tools that clear the space, right? What do I mean tools? Palo Santo, sage. I don't particularly like sage. I have my own thoughts on that. I'll make another video about it. But incenses, the frankincense, the myrrh, the tools, what they mean, what these different things mean, what they can do, why they're used. Touching into those things help clear the vibrational path. Like you start stepping into the godhood of things when you use the tools provided. What else? Okay, so yeah. In the last year, I have gone crazy with ritual rites, working with the divine, the Holy Spirit, with Metatron, with Gabriel, with Michael, with Camael. I have gone deeper. Now, these angels are amazing. They're really, truly amazing. Wow, what the fuck is this bird? Oh my God. I don't even think that's a hawk. I think that was an eagle that just flew so close to me. Oh my God. Yeah. Nature has been in communion with me heavily since I jumped into this. demons I don't really like. I don't understand the contracts there, and they're kind of unnecessary. Angels will shake up your life without any regard to the dead weight. That doesn't matter. They'll just shake it off. Okay, get the fuck out of here then. It's very matter of fact. From what I hear, the demons are smoother and the things happen, but there's fees that I don't understand, right? Every time I say that, I get a blissful little blessing. Okay. See, I have to digest. I have to take it in. I have to sort of reconcile what's happening to me, and it's so many things. Okay. Let's move on from that. But I did some heavy angel work this year, and if you know anything about planetary alignments and the astrology that has been occurring, this year has been a doozy. The parade of planets was this year, where like all the planets, like in some weird Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek sort of fashion, all lined up in a straight line. What? The I don't know what it was, the solar eclipse that happened, where the sun started to look different, people talking about timeline jumps and the frequencies that are happening from day to day. Like, there's been a lot of shifts in this particular year. And I have been riding that sail to the best of my ability, and it's like that point of the song where I feel it in the air tonight, where the drums start dropping. Like, I'm like in that part, like do 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 do. Oh, like okay, yeah, right there. So things that I thought were so important are not. Things that I thought were so hard have shaken off. Things that I couldn't see have been revealed. Stepping up the prayer is paramount. I won't say, in my goal is to pray 3 times a day, like some of our brothers and sisters do in other religions, and maybe they're doing it strictly to provide their tradition. My prayers are more of conversations, intentions. I was watching this guy, what's his name? He talks about Neville Goddard all the time. He has a name that starts with an E. He looks like a Matrix Terminator. I don't know. Maybe I'll remember his name by the time I post this and link the video, or link his content. But he said something very unique that I haven't heard, because you watch all these things about manifesting all the time. Manifest anything, manifest this, manifest that. He said manifesting is not it. Okay, manifesting is great. Fine, we got that. We know how to manifest. Ooh, okay, we're on the level. We know how to manifest. Yes. Can manifest your heart's desire, but he said if you don't know how to use or how to maintain okay. But what he coupled, I think the key takeaway, what he coupled with that is manifesting and staying in aligned thought with what you're looking to do. In the 48 laws of power, one of the laws, I don't remember which one it is, in Think and Grow Rich, and the Master Key, they talk about keeping the mind aligned to the desired goal. And you have to eat, breathe, and shit the desired goal. I believe right now, in an epiphany sort of way, because it's not easy to do that. I've read all these books for years and years and years, and distractions happen. Maybe it's the distractions of just being alive in this system. But the epiphany, it could be all the prayers and the alignments and everything, all the work I've been doing, but the aha moment came to stay aligned and using those manifesting skills. And when you put those two things together, they walk hand in hand, like literally walking down the street. Those two aspects come together and the manifesting comes instantly, and more epiphanies come about. And that's why it's been hard to come here with a message, because it's a constant flow state that is gorgeous, to the point where the things that I wanted and I've been asking for have actually become a true thought for me. Whereas, yeah, I want this thing, and I want it, and I'm going to work towards it, I'm going to desire it. But, like even yesterday, it was like, oh shit, that's going to happen. It's actually happening. I feel like it's going to happen. Now, they tell you have to feel it and you have to imagine that you're there, and those things are so difficult to do sometimes because it's hard to muster up the mental capacity, frequency, level of thought to feel that something is when it currently isn't. And it was a tiny epiphany that made me feel, oh shit, I feel it. It's coming, right? It's coming in the air tonight. And I guess the thing that got me to that feeling is starting with the small stuff. Just starting, sort of like that Shia Booth sort of thing. Just do it. Just do it, right? Kind of like that. Starting with just doing it. Just doing it. I started with one thing, and that one thing led me to this greater sort of thing that I couldn't necessarily see, but it's just walking with the leads that you're given. If you get a hunch, follow it. If you get an inclination, follow it. If you get a feeling to do something, do it. You never know. That's the fun part about this. You never know where it's going to lead you. But where it's led me is to a different pocket of my mind. And that was a pocket that wasn't revealed to me, even though this is where I wanted to be. I hope that makes sense. All right, that's all I got today, y'all. All right, adios.